Good evening and thanks for staying up late with us. I'm meteorologist Simone Thomas. We are starting with weather because we are in the middle of that weather impact alert due to concerns for strong to severe weather across the state. Now the good news is the tornado watch that was issued for north central and northeast Arkansas has been canceled early because as that front is moving further southeast in the state, those counties that had the higher risk of a tornado are clear for the severe threat. Here in Pulaski County, we're clear for that severe threat, but through the next couple hours we're still keeping an eye on southeastern Arkansas. Now at the moment there's not a whole lot happening. We do have this storm kind of into Lonoke County inching towards Arkansas County, but a lot of these storms, as you saw, that have been moving south of that I-30 I-40 line have been dissipating as they move east. But high resolution model data is indicating that around that 1 to 2 o'clock time frame we could see some more storms bubbling up across south central Arkansas. So we're going to continue tracking this through the evening. Here's a look though at where we're seeing that threat. The quarter size hail or greater threat, or the 2-inch size hail or greater threat, still exists over southeast Arkansas along with that wind threat. The tornado threat I do think is not going to be as much of a concern overnight. But here's some of that hail we've already seen this afternoon. This is from Cave City. They've seen baseball hail just 2 weeks after seeing an EF3 tornado. Now across central Arkansas, this is in Jackson County out of Bradford, Arkansas. More large hail, Baxter County. This is from Lakeview. We've seen some more large hail, and then this is out of Fulton County. Lots of hail fell up there. Now we appreciate everybody that has sent these pictures. Now as we continue through the evening, again, north central Arkansas, you're in the clear, but southeastern Arkansas still want you weather aware for a couple more hours. I'll show you a look at that future radar through the rest of the evening, and we'll talk about our next chance for severe weather in your 11-day outlook.
Thanks, Simone. Tonight, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is asking for an additional major disaster declaration from President Trump due to the severe weather parts of our state saw a couple weeks ago. With the damage assessment process now complete, Governor Sanders is asking for help to repair 11 counties. And communities are doing everything they can to help as well. One 10-year-old girl in Newport used her talents to support a family impacted in Campbell. THV11's Maya Ellison reports on how her big heart helped her achieve her goal and set a positive example for others.
It does take your time away, but after you're done, you have something that you can wear and keep.
That's 10-year-old Sophia Hutchinson. Her and her family live about 10 minutes away from Campbell Station, one of the communities impacted by the EF4 tornado about 2 weeks ago.
Where the shelter was, we were, within a mile, 3/4, half a mile from it.
A few days passed and Sophia's mother Morgan says she started to see the damage of those impacted. Sophia did as well.
I prayed that night and it really came to my mind that God is truly here in this world.
She was like, do you think if I made bracelets, people would buy them to help the victims?
Morgan took her daughter's idea to social media. What began as friends and family who purchased bracelets blossomed into much more.
We probably had already 30 or 40 bracelets to make. More and more people started ordering, and like I said, I'm pretty sure she made close to 75 bracelets.
Sophia spent all spring break making them.
It probably took about 30 minutes per bracelet. She got to be a little quicker with some of them, but she made a few personalized ones too.
When I think of most of the people that order one and they want me to pick it, most of the time they're like one of these.
Okay.
Like their personality fits one of these colors.
Each bracelet was made with love and held special meaning, but one stood out. AR Strong, which symbolized community.
The AR means Arkansas, and then we did a heart, and then strong, and then this stands for
Natural Disaster Awareness colors.
In 10 days, Sophia was able to surpass her goal.
I felt happy that I got over 500.
And with the little help, Sophia learned about a family that was impacted by the storms. Without hesitation, she knew she wanted to give back and support them.
It made me feel good to make the bracelets and then give them and then give the money to the family.
And through her good deed, it sets an example for all to follow.
You should try to at least help, and anything you set your mind to, you can achieve it.
In Newport, Maya Ellison, THV11 News.
Very inspiring stuff. Thank you, Maya. They were also able to provide diapers and other essentials for the Bale family. Tomorrow marks 2 years since an EF3 tornado ripped through Little Rock and continued over the river to North Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jacksonville. To this day, some of those affected are still recovering and rebuilding, even first responders. Little Rock's Fire Station 9 took a direct hit on March 31st, 2023, leaving the department with no choice but to rebuild. As crews prepare to break ground tomorrow on the new building, the assistant fire chief says they've put a lot of thought into the design and why they need to include a safe room this time.
I'm not familiar when the standard was initiated. I do know that the last 2 fire stations we built, Station 23 and 24 both, have had tornado shelters integrated into the design and construction of the building. So there was no question we were going to do it in this building as well.
Tomorrow night at 10, we'll show you what's next for the fire station and how people in Little Rock and across the state are preparing for future storms. Meanwhile, Funland Amusement Park reopened just in time for spring break. The park also needed to be rebuilt after suffering serious damage from the same tornado. It's been closed ever since, but now, thanks to an investment of more than $3 million from the city of North Little Rock, Funland is now restored. THV 11 photojournalist Danny Moore shows us the sights and sounds of a day in Burns Park.
The Burns Park was originated in 1957 and had a bunch of rides, you know, and I'm sure, you know, the helicopter ride, carousel, the typical amusement park, that kind of stuff. And then after the tornado hit on March 31st, soon to be 2 years ago, we've decided to go with a playground and a splash pad. People love the train, you know, you know, they just love to ride an old train, and it's just, the kids love it. The kids absolutely love it. It's human nature, I would think. You know, they just, even the parents, because some of these parents and grandparents, I had a grandfather tell me this morning, he rode it when he was a kid. So, you know, I know it's the same train, but hey, it's remarkable. It's amazing. It's been here a long time. The tornado actually tore some of the tracks up. With the new track in place in some areas, it's been running full blast, and as soon as the cart empties, another one fills up. It's just nonstop. These cars and motorcycles and the helicopter and the space shuttle were original, probably from the 60s, that was actually rides out here, and we wanted something that the grandparents could come out and say, hey, I rode this when I was a kid, and it would kind of be a good photo op for the, you know, the parents and the grandparents. It's just top of the line. It's the newest thing out, you know, with the climbing net walk, and it's just all exclusive to the kids. We're looking forward to opening them splash pads, and our intentions, you know, it's based on the weather, and we'll definitely have it open in May, but we're going to really progressive about getting it open as soon as we can, because that's going to play a vital part of Funland.
At the state capitol, lawmakers will meet again after taking last week off for spring break. And as the legislative session continues, some important bills will be discussed, starting with Senate Bill 520. It aims to get rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, in local government and prevent the use of state funds for DEI initiatives. House Bill 1684 wants to ensure that parents have access to things like textbooks, syllabi, and lesson plans so they know what their child is learning. It would also allow them to take their child out of class if material conflicts with their religious or moral beliefs. And finally, 2 bills aimed at high school sports. SB 436 looks to allow students who transfer to not have to sit out a year, and SB 438 would permanently ban a coach who recruits a student. And tomorrow, Pine Bluff Mayor Vivian Flowers will give her State of the City address. This comes after both the fire chief and the police chief were let go earlier this week. Mayor Flowers says the moves were made to continue on the path of enhancing public safety, something she promised to do if she was elected mayor. But not every city leader is happy with how it went down.
My concern is when you don't relay the changes that you're going to make to the people who you're supposed to be working with. The mayor and the city council are supposed to work as a unit. Guaranteeing unity is communication, whether you agree with the person or not.
The mayor is expected to talk about that as well as other topics like making the city safer, investing in youth, economic development, infrastructure, and tourism. Moving over to crime now, where this man, 48-year-old Brandon Knight Sr., is now behind bars for multiple charges, including murder. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office says the shooting took place in the 200 block of East 46th Street in North Little Rock around 12:40 this morning. Knight has been charged with first-degree murder, possession of a firearm, and public intoxication. Arkansas State Police say a 19-year-old Mablevale man was killed in a wreck in this area of I-40 around 11 last night after leading state troopers on a high-speed chase. ASP says the man was driving at speeds up to 130 miles per hour without his headlights on and took exit 142 before losing control and hitting several trees. 3 17-year-old passengers were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
The great news is that tornado watch that was in effect for north central and northeastern Arkansas is mainly clear. A few of those counties bordering the Mississippi River are still under that watch, but we are still continuing to monitor southeastern Arkansas as the last of that storm system moves out of the state. All of these details and a look at the week ahead are coming up after the break.
And coming up, Northwest Arkansas National Airport has a new program that's using dogs to help put people's nerves at ease. We'll show you the positive reaction it's getting from inside the terminal.